take your seats. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, thank you for your attendance here today. We realize this is somewhat ad hoc, but nonetheless, we would appreciate your close attention to the following information. Yes, thank you. Okay, in 1961, Professor John Wheeler of Princeton University, while researching the fundamentals of what he described as the quantum phone, accidentally stumbled upon a theoretically viable method of inducing space within an enclosed vacuum. Let me repeat that because it's important. A viable method of inducing space within an enclosed vacuum. We'll have plenty of time for questions. At first, the formula seemed to indicate that there would occur within the module a doubling of the initial vacuum space. With some refinements, Wheeler was able to put together several equations which allowed for an exponential increase in volume, mass, and the option to adjust the composition of the volume substance. From what we understand, after he had met with a few of his more accepting colleagues, shall we say, a facility was purchased in upstate New York, specifically for the development and furtherance of his equations and eventually direct experimentation. To cut a long story short, after a number of trial runs of varying degrees of success, Wheeler and his colleagues created a room.
What do you mean they created a room?
Well, they started with, I suppose you could say, a matchbox-size sealed receptacle. And upon application of the arena procedure, we'll come to specifics of that in a moment. Upon application of the arena procedure, the receptacle was augmented. Wheeler had a room.
Augmented? You mean the receptacle grew in size? To the size of a room?
It didn't grow. That would be the wrong way to think about this. It's hard to state in simple terms what Wheeler had achieved in the augmentation. I mentioned inducing space at the beginning. That's a better term. One of Wheeler's colleagues used the term summoning futile space in his writings. Whatever term you use, it's clear that the arena procedure seems to create volume and mass from nowhere. That's what it seems to do. What we think it actually does is to pull existing mass and volume and replicate the receptacle's properties.
Pull existing volume? Pull it from where exactly?
We don't know.
Let me see if I'm getting this right. Are you saying we're stealing space from another universe and bringing it into our universe?
Well, one of the issues that we have is that even though we have access to this room, it's still not really in our universe.
What are you talking about?
From our perspective, Wheeler's room is just a doorway. There's no outside walls. There's no volume expended in the lab. The volume is only within the door, within the room.
That's impossible. How do we know that we just not opened the doorway to another universe?
Because the room has the properties of the receptacle. The receptacle is made from woven carbon fiber and contained normal air. The walls of Wheeler's room are made from woven carbon fiber, and it is filled with normal air, complete with dust and bacteria. All the normal things we breathe in and out every day. The main reason why you have been asked here today is because Wheeler didn't stop there. He decided to use his own office as a receptacle. The results of that procedure are why we're here today. This is James Sent. He is operations manager of Async Research, and he will explain more.